Imagine living in the quiet English countryside during the 12th century, where life moves slowly with the rhythm of farming seasons, church bells, and village traditions. In the small village of Woolpit, located in the county of Suffolk, something happened that would become one of the strangest medieval mysteries ever recorded. It was a normal harvest day. Farmers were working near the deep valve pits that gave Woolpit its name, large holes dug into the ground to trap wild animals. Suddenly, near one of those pits, villagers noticed movement. Two small figures struggled out from the darkness below. At first, people thought they were injured children, but as they stepped into the sunlight, fear spread through the crowd. Their skin was green, not slightly pale, not stained with mud, truly green, like fresh grass under morning dew. The two children, a boy and a girl, looked terrified. Their clothes were unfamiliar, made from strange fabric and stitched in a style no one in the village recognized. Even more unsettling was the language they spoke. It wasn't English, French, or Latin, the common languages of the time. It sounded completely foreign, almost musical, but impossible to understand. The villagers tried asking questions, but the children only responded in their strange tongue. Some villagers whispered that they might be demons. Others feared they were cursed. In medieval England, where superstition was stronger than science, anything unexplained was often linked to the supernatural. The children were taken to the home of a local landowner, Sir Richard de Colin, who decided to care for them. Food was placed before them, fresh bread, roasted meat, vegetables, but the children refused everything. They turned their faces away in fear and confusion. Days passed, and the villagers worried they might starve. Then one day, the children noticed raw beans growing in a garden. They ran toward them desperately and began eating them straight from the stalk. It was the first time they had willingly eaten anything. For weeks, even months, beans were the only food they would touch. It was as if it was the only thing they recognized from wherever they had come. Slowly, as time passed, something even more mysterious happened. Their green skin began to fade. The unusual color grew lighter and lighter until it disappeared completely, revealing normal human skin beneath. This change made some villagers believe the children had been sick rather than supernatural. As they adjusted to life in Woolpit, they gradually learned to speak English. Once they could communicate, the real mystery deepened. When asked where they came from, they gave an answer no one expected. They said they were from a place called St. Martin's Land, according to them. It was a world where the sun never shone brightly. Everything was covered in a strange twilight glow, and the land itself had a greenish light. Everyone there had green skin, just like they once did. They described a peaceful place with rivers and fields, but always dim, never fully bright like England. The children said they had been herding cattle when they heard a loud ringing noise, like church bells echoing through the air. Curious, they followed the sound and entered a cave. They walked through darkness for what felt like hours. Then suddenly, they found themselves crawling out of a pit in a completely different world. To the villagers of Woolpit, this explanation was both fascinating and terrifying. Sadly, the boy did not survive long after their arrival. He became ill and died, possibly due to malnutrition or disease. Before his death, he was baptized into the Christian faith, as was common at the time. The girl, however, survived. Over the years, she adapted fully to English life. She lost her green color entirely, learned the customs of the village, and eventually grew into adulthood. Some records suggest she later married a local man and lived an ordinary life, but her origin story was never forgotten. This strange event was documented by two respected medieval chroniclers, William of Newburgh and Ralph of Coggeshall. These were serious writers who recorded historical events, not fairy tales. The fact that both men included the story in their writings makes historians wonder whether something truly unusual happened in Woolpit. Over the centuries, many theories have tried to explain the mystery. One theory suggests the children were Flemish orphans. During the 12th century, many Flemish immigrants lived in England, and conflicts sometimes led to violence against them. The children may have escaped during such chaos, hiding in forests or underground tunnels. Their strange language could have been Flemish, which villagers in Woolpit would not have recognized. As for their green skin, some doctors believe they may have suffered from severe malnutrition or a condition known as chlorosis, sometimes called green sickness, caused by iron deficiency. Poor diet can sometimes give skin a pale greenish tint. If the children had been living in isolation and starving, this might explain both their color and their obsession with beans, which contain nutrients their bodies desperately needed. Another theory is even more mysterious. Some believe the children came from an underground world, a hidden civilization beneath the earth. Caves and tunnels connect many parts of England, and medieval people often believed in hollow earth legends. Others suggest something even stranger, that the children somehow crossed into our world from another dimension. The description of St. Martin's Land, a place of eternal twilight, sounds almost like a parallel universe. In modern times, some even compare the story to alien encounter reports, though there is no real evidence for that idea. Still, no theory perfectly explains every detail. How did two small children travel alone such a long distance? Why did they appear specifically in Woolpit? Why were their clothes so unfamiliar? And how did their story remain so consistent after learning English? Today, the village of Woolpit still remembers the legend. There are even artistic representations of the Green Children in the area, keeping the mystery alive for visitors. Nearly 900 years later, historians, writers, and mystery lovers continue to debate what really happened on that strange day in the 1100s. Was it a misunderstood medical condition? Lost refugee children caught in a violent time? Or something far stranger, a story that challenges the boundaries between history and myth? The Green Children of Woolpit remain one of medieval England's most haunting mysteries, a story where fact and folklore blend together so perfectly that even now, no one can say for certain where those children truly came from. And perhaps that is why the mystery survives, because sometimes the most chilling stories are the ones history cannot fully explain.